Good morning, Mother Lorna. Alright, this is the front end of the house, and that is the plum tree. Nice ivy growing on the walls, which was trimmed last year. And then we've got figs. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and by 10 o'clock, beautiful purple flowers come out above the figs. The fig gives off a brilliant purple mauve type of flower. And as we come here, you see that these are, where is it now? There. These are pumpkins. Not pumpkins, butternuts. Butternuts. And I've built baskets around them from organic material, which is freely available in the garden. One butternut, another one there, another one there. More figs. You can see that the litter blows in from outside, and also the thorns. And then we get to here, another butternut with an organic basket that I built around the butternut plant. Look at these leaves. They've been watered. I don't know what kind of tree this is, but it's very pretty. And you can see from the leaf structure, it's very, very healthy and bursting with life. Then over here, right in front by the fence, we have planted Vanessa's cactus. And you can see there's a little bollocky growing out of the side. Then I just zoom out and move slightly across to here. And you can see there is another piece of Vanessa's cactus. And then the other piece is here. This piece has actually grown another little petal on the top and on the side, as you can see. Right. Vanessa's cactus. These in between the prickly pear is a type of berry bush which grows thorns onto it so that people can't climb over the fence and make a pest of themselves. A water source. Now these plants here only grow wherever there's water. You can see there around the pipe. I forget the name of it now. I'm not a botanist. And I should be, since this is the third part of our farming series. The same plant here, and you notice right over here is our well point. Water coming out there. And then this is the herb patch. If I just do an overview like that, this is the herb patch where I planted tomatoes, which are looking very, very nice. Yes, one there. And then a whole pile right in the ground between these two granite type rocks. They love the rock dust. Very good for plants as well. Then this one, also tomato plant. Okay. Then, here is the climbing rose, which we're trying to train up the fence. Of course, one has to watch out for the goats who eat everything. Real swines they are. course, the real swines are the people that drive the goats down the middle of the street every day. But no, no matter. What can we do? All of these have been heavily mulched. You can see there's plenty of organic matter there that will break down and enrich the plants over time. And yeah, this is the rose, our first roses. Very pretty, very nice. Not quite as nice as yours, but nevertheless, this here is a plant that we grow, because it grows very quickly to about 3 meters high. And then you can chop it up like a lettuce and add it to your compost to enrich your soil. Jenel 5 Pienaarstraat. Right. Then we built this path down the middle so that we can get around here. You can see the place has been nicely raked a few days ago. You can't stop the leaves from falling, but that's what I used to build the baskets. Lovely trees which have been nicely rejuvenated and once again heavily mulched and packed with leaves, which last year we got the municipality to drop off about 60 bags of leaves from the whole of Richmond. Then we mulch everything. This is the rosemary. It's a nice new fresh leaves coming out there. And then once again, Godfrey packed these stones around my baskets of organic matter. I decided to mulch all the trees this year. The tree has a nice granular mix of twigs and leaves and soil. And of course we can plant inside of this organic matter where the root structure can take hold. And already there's something growing there. What it is, I'm not sure, but trees are our friends. This, in all its glory here, has a double basket, as you can see there. A foundation basket of organic matter and another basket on top to shield it from the wind and from the frost. There you can see already this year is the first year that this little tree, Lorna's pommy, is actually fruiting. Isn't that amazing? And it's quite full of life, and it has had a lot of love and care put into it over all this time. Then here we have pardon me, we have a moringa tree. Apparently moringa, the leaves of the moringa tree is a superfood. And then this beautiful botanical wonder. Subgenus fantastic and subgenus amazing. Right. Then they come over here and we found sage, and that is what the sage plant looks like. And then in between there you'll see a little green spot, should be about in the middle of your screen, and those are the sugar beans that we planted there. So everything's coming up nicely. And then this is an old basket growing more vetch. This is just a plant that grows very, very quickly, and we chop it down to add a green layer of mass to our soil building operations. Then the hemp. Looking a bit scruffy, I must say. But then, oh, I forgot to just go over here where the watering is happening. This was a bare patch that we excavated, and all of the soil is built by hand. You can see the twigs in the middle, the organic matter gets filled up, and beneath the soil layer are many layers of wood. And this tree, Godfrey saved when we bought the property. It was dying and dead, and put it in a pot, and eventually it's going to be planted right where it stands now. And then you can see here these butternuts were actually planted first, and they also, all of them have baskets on them, and these you can see are doing much better. There, that's been watered. Butternuts are coming up nicely, and they're even developing runners, and these are sunflowers in the bed. And by the looks of things, they might even be in full bloom by the time you arrive. You can see that the flowers are starting to form already. The leaves are also looking very nice. Once again, we do not use pesticides or Roundup in any of our soil building endeavors. We just don't do it, because I think that if the good Lord wanted us to do that, He would have produced Roundup and pesticides, which actually has already, but in a natural form. There's the boohoo bush, and here, oh yes, then you can see here's a nice close-up of our onions. They're coming along nicely. These were planted afterwards. These were planted before that, but they're also nicely rotation growing. And then these are reaching the finishing stages of growth. You can see the little onions popping out there. And then this is just a Karoo flower, which isn't looking not too healthy by comparison to the mint, which is also bursting with life and stonkingly good. Then we have been growing lots of them. These are the 200, part of the 200 tomatoes. And they're different types. There's the Roma tomato and the beefsteak tomato, and I don't think that we planted the money makers. And then our princesses. Oh my word. Racing along, and that is the lemon tree. And that over there was a twig when I arrived, and now it's an avocado tree with 6 leaves. Very nice, very good. This is a different type of mint, and then you have the spearmint and the thyme. These were newly propagated. These are the beefsteak tomatoes. You can see the difference. Slightly different leaf structure. They were struggling in the sun, so we brought them back into the shade, and now they're recovering nicely. Beefsteak tomatoes. These are millions of baby onions. If you go close, you can actually see the little stem forming a little bulb at the end. The onions. And then our baby basil. We ate all the basil up, and we have to grow more. So there they are, still little. This is the rest of the tomatoes. And then these tomatoes, I'm sad to say I haven't bared any tomatoes yet, but yes, they're getting there. They are pre-flower stage, shall we say. Then lots of mint. Then okay, oh yes, there's October's house. Of course, he's fled and left. You've got to have big balls to live here, and you'll see why in a minute as we approach the gate to the backyard. Now this whole thing here was a hill which Godfrey and I, man alone, moved an entire hill and flattened it out. And then we discovered this. We discovered this. This is dill. And if you make it into a salad with cucumber, really refreshing and another superfood. Godfrey constructed this wall because we're going to build this up into a food production area. And this is berry bush, like the little ones that I showed you in the front, except this is the daddy version. And then, because he pulled the hose around that corner, it had to be reinforced, and we might even concrete it in. We'll see how things go. But we wanted to shore up the fence over there with the hill that we removed, so that we can catch the heavy winter rains. And we're still terracing and contouring the property, as you can see. It's in its infant stages of getting the water, the hydrology of the place correct. And then this is what dill looks like. And if you take a few of those leaves and crush it between your fingers, the most amazing aroma comes out. And this is the mother pomegranate tree. You can see it's going to do very well this year because it's gotten a lot of care. It also has been treated with a heavy mulch and leaves, twigs, bits of wood. As you can see there, this is a fig tree. We only coming to life now. It's a late bloomer, shall we say. And then there under the carpet which we removed from this house is the compost. Under a nice, what is it, Waverley or carpet? I don't know. Then we actually chopped this tree down. And because it wasn't doing anything, for 5 years it sat and did bugger all. Now, however, you see that they're baby pears. And the tree is laden with them. But the tree has also, if I just zoom out a little bit, the tree has also been heavily mulched. And in fact, around the mulched area, lots of arugulas and things coming up. And then this is our cling peach tree. Look at that. Obviously they're still growing, but never in the years before have we seen such prolific growth of peaches. And not only the prolific growth, the quality of the fruit itself. I'll zoom in really, really close. You can see how there's no blossom end rot. There are no insects and pests on these trees, even though they haven't been pesticided with anything but love and care. They're also heavily mulched, and there's a lot of construction work being done to create pathways and waterways. Pardon me. Eventually it's going to look quite Tolkien-esque. But this is just the beginning stages. We have to dig these furrows to catch the heavy rains that are and will be coming. Because these trees barely need 50 gallons of water each. Then in working on the pathways, we discovered another apricot tree. So we've protected it and keeping it going. Then the yard isn't quite tidy yet, but you can see a lot of tidying of the yard and backyard has begun. And we're working towards getting it to look like a production farm, which is what it is. Then this is the very large apricot tree, around which has been heavily mulched with about almost 3/4 of a meter of heavy mulch, and this tree is producing wonderful fruit. I see these mints are looking a bit pale, so we'll hit them with some Epsom salts and inject nitrates into them for a quick fix, natural solution. So there we have the tree. The sun is just rising now, and I've been awake for God knows how long. These are this is the baby spinach run. They were also going pale and suffering. I don't think these containers work, by the way. But anyway. Then here are more butternuts with baskets around them. They're still babies. Haven't developed their runners yet. And in the middle is the chili tree. Here, going across here, we have... this is the quince tree. I'll see if I can find any. Literally in about 2 weeks, this tree was nursed back from the cusp of death to a leaf structure that looks like that in the Karoo, which, by the way, is quite difficult to achieve, given the huge ranges of temperature and from a 22 degrees difference between morning temperature and evening temperature. I don't see any fruits in it yet, but then, oh, this is, look at the sunrise. Isn't that stunning? Yo. Then over here, we have our old fig tree that has lots, quite lots of also quite good quality figs on it. You can see no blossom end rot. I'm zooming in really close to this fig tree here. And then we get to the prized grapevine, which we're going to prune this year. And where did I see... See, the birds have been pecking at this viciously and consistently, but you do see the parts that they forgot, the little grapes growing there. All of the favorite things of Lorna. And looking out into the backyard, you see a gorgeous sunrise, because it's quite early in the morning. These are water pathways that still have to be etched, so that these trees can benefit from the rain. This here is our soil building factory plant, where we manually break this down. Quite hard work, as you can imagine. And here I've been trying to extend the path, but found that that amount of rocks under every square meter. Then I built this gutter. You see there, the water. What used to happen was the water used to run out there and by the downpipe and just rinse over everything and cover everything in mud. So this here, I've decided to dig guttering that goes all the way down there, right to the apple tree, and then heavily mulch this part here with leaves and organic matter, so that it creates another planting area for growing food. The other side of the gutter doesn't look so glamorous, but it's well constructed and sturdy and won't collapse under the pressure of the water. Built that 4 days ago. And then dug this out. You can see over there where the black bags are. That is all that remains from the over 60 bags of organic matter that the municipality gathers from the whole of Richmond, and we tell them to bring it here. So they're quite intrigued by that. And see if I can get the shot of the sun between the trees. There, that is the east. Oh yes. I mean, look at the sight of these peaches. Little babies, no bigger than the size of a walnut at the moment. But you can see how laden the tree is. I didn't show you a close-up of the apricots. They're also not ripe yet. But they will be in their millions. So whoever can tell me how to make jams and such like, I'd be very happy to hear from you. I think Auntie Alice would be able to help me with this. See, there are the apricots. Once again, flawless, no pests on them anywhere, no blossom end rot, looking really good. Green still, but you can see that all these trees and things require quite a lot of maintenance and work. And as you can't work here from 10 o'clock onwards, it's just too hot. We have to be up at sunrise so that we can build our property into what we want it to be. A food production place. Yeah, another soil building site over here, but you can see even from that disorganized natural falling of leaves and whatever, the vine that grows here is also in very good condition. It's not dry, it's not wet. There's a nice balance, nice pH to the soil as well. And this is a classic example of natural gardening. This is the trellis that Godfried built for the tomatoes. Very, very sturdy. You can see here, it's very, very strong, because we are growing beefsteak tomatoes. Then our pincushion went to sleep during the winter, but I see little splashes of colour coming up there. Chili plant. And now that is what mint should look like. This is a very, very good example. Right over there. Bursting with life. Nice chlorophylls in the leaf structure, not so much in that one. And then of course here, you'll never guess what these are. These, let me see if I can find any fruit. These are strawberries, which up till now has yielded quite a lot of fruit. Quite a lot. Then we're propagating some rosemary there. And well, these tomatoes haven't yielded any tomatoes yet, but I'm sure they will in time to come. And then a beautiful, beautiful shot of Richmond in the morning. This is the time to be up and awake, alive and kicking, thinking and doing, planning, and clear skies, not a single chemtrail in the sky, not a single cloud either, which isn't a good sign. And then I like the way the sun catches that house there on the corner, and go down that way, of course, the house, the pestilence of our lives. And that is looking down the driveway, which you have to walk quite far to get to the other end. And so there's just such a lot going on here. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I thought I'd just introduce you to the garden so you don't mess up your shoes and cover them in mud when you get here. Oh, isn't this pretty? Got to go up and get a close-up of this very Japanese type tree. I have no idea as to what it is, but also it was stone dead, and back to life it comes with its basket. It's got nice shoes on its feet, nice and warm, and water retentive. So with that, I'm going to sign out with a nice mountain view, and you can hear the birds tweeting, and everybody's going to come alive. And that's when we go inside and finish our work, because we are stealth gardeners. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.